What's up, guys? I tried something new. I went to the website tirebuyer.com and I found these tires for around $700. And these are the Wildpeak. There's videos on these everywhere on YouTube. Paid about $700. That's what I got them for. They shipped them to any store for free shipping. If I would have shipped them to my house, it would have cost more. So I picked Firestone because they were the cheapest for installing. And look at the aggressive thread on these. And the price on the website was around 60 bucks. But when all said and done, it came to 100 with tax. Something to do with valve stems costing more. I did question them about it. These are a more aggressive tire. These are an all-terrain tire, as you can see, very deep. They did an alignment check for free, but they wouldn't do the alignment check. I guess that was the catch-22. They wanted $90 to do the alignment, but I can get it done cheaper someplace else. It was only off by 2 degrees. Now, what I found strange when I went to Firestone, maybe it's like that with all companies, it didn't feel good. I had this feeling that they, I don't know, like they were trying to take advantage of people. It didn't feel right. It was like everybody went to the counter. All I heard was, you know, you need a new battery. We checked your brake fluid. You need to flush your brake fluid. I mean, they do have amazing customer service, but I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me. So I didn't get anything done but the tire change, and that was $100. And I even took my tires with me, as you can see up here. I'll use those for something like maybe planting potatoes, or I don't know, maybe I'll even sell them because there is some tread on them, not much. And even with this much tread here, as you can see, I did notice I was slipping a little bit. But one thing about these tires, which is really, really cool, okay, compared to the factory tires that were on this truck, is the ride. The factory tires, they were very hard. Every time I hit a bump, I could feel it. I mean, I imagine I could have let some tire pressure out. But when I put these on, oh, I noticed the ride was much smoother, more comfortable. That's what I noticed. So these are brand spanking new. And these are the Wildpeak Falkens all-terrain tire. And I've seen lots of videos on these where the tire wear is really good. So we're gonna see. The price was so reasonable. They're supposed to get 40 to 50,000 miles on them. But the price itself, I mean, 700 bucks. You can't go wrong for that. I also noticed that, I don't know. So far, being brand new and all the videos I've seen on YouTube and the tire wear, I think these are going to be awesome for backpacking, and I need to clean my rims up. But just the just how it rides was a big difference. How it felt a lot better. It actually felt like I changed the shocks on it and I got a smoother ride. So that was quite interesting. So 700 bucks, about 725, something like that, for the tires themselves from tirebuyer.com. And it was 100 bucks at Firestone to have them swapped out and changed. Now they also check fluids, give you washer fluid and all that other stuff. Took them about an hour and a half, which I thought was quite a long time to just swap some tires. But okay, so what's my experience with buying these tires online at tirebuyer.com? The process of buying it on the website was really easy. And I actually went to the Firestone website and I made an appointment online with them. The guy from Firestone called me and said, why did you make an appointment and why are you coming in? There was no information on the Firestone website to enter, hey, I'm getting a tire change. None whatsoever. So Firestone really drops the ball on that. Now, when I was in Firestone, I mentioned in the video I didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. I don't know how else to explain it. It seemed like everybody that went up to the desk, it seemed like the guy was really trying to upsell. you need a new battery. You need to drain your brake fluid. I mean, yet it was 25 degrees Fahrenheit and the guy's battery started fine. Maybe he did need a new battery. How do I know? But it just seemed to me, and it didn't feel right. I had this feeling like your prices are high, and I felt like you're really trying to upsell people just to nickel and dime them to death is how it felt to me. So I probably wouldn't go back to Firestone for anything. I mean, I really wouldn't, because I just didn't have that good feeling. Now, when I actually ordered the tires through TireBuy.com, you had to pick where you were going to deliver them to. So I picked the Firestone because it had the cheapest price for the tire change, which was $60, $65. And I was like, okay. But when the job was done, it was $100. So it was $40 more, which I questioned about. I said, look at my paper, my printout. Why is your price more? They seemed upset by that, being I asked them a question. You know, the guy's looking at the computer, he's looking at the paper, he's going, I don't know. He calls somebody else over to figure out what's going on. This girl comes over, she looks at the computer screen, and she's like, oh, your valve stems cost more. So your valve stems were $12 instead of $7, and the labor cost more for the valve stems. Now, in the back of my head, when I'm going through this entire process, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, well, you'd have to screw in the $7 valve stem. What's the difference of screwing in the $12 valve stem, and why are you charging more on labor for that valve stem and this one? Was it a different tool? And I'm just going through my head with all this, and I'm like, I don't even want to deal with it. Fine, run it up. I'll be done with it. But I didn't feel right. Now, they offered to do an alignment. They did an alignment on the tires. And when the guy called me on the phone, I could have swore he said he'd do a free alignment. But they said, no, we'll do the alignment and check it for free. We're only going to check it for free. But if you want to go ahead and do it, then it's going to cost you money. I thought, okay, that's weird. You've got it up on the machine. You've got everything set up. And you're checking it. So now they tell me it's off by 2 degrees on the one tire. And they're like, do you want to go ahead with doing that? And I'm like, well, they want $90 to do this alignment. And I'm like, the last time I did an alignment on my truck, I did it in a smaller town where I'm from, and I got it done for like $40. So their prices, to me, seem high. Now, maybe in the bigger cities it's not, but where I'm from, they're high. And they're not being compatible with what's going on in the area. And the other funny thing about an alignment is, once you've got it up there and you've checked it and the machine's saying you're off by 2 degrees, do you know all you do is turn that a little bit and tighten a bolt and you're done? That's it. It's 2 seconds. And then they come to me and say, oh, it's going to be $90 to do that. But we checked it for free. What? I mean, literally $90? That's it? That don't make sense to me. So I told him, no, I said, no, how much is it off? She actually had to go, and I wasn't allowed in the garage. That was another thing that bothered me. I know safety and insurances, but a lot of places I go to, I am allowed in the garage. I just didn't like that, watching a guy from afar work on my vehicle and I can't see what he's doing. Maybe that's just me. But at any rate, what was the point of doing that whole alignment check? I mean, they got it up there. It's $90? I don't know. That didn't make sense to me whatsoever. So she wasn't, I don't know, they seemed like it bothered them when I asked them questions. That's what it felt like to me. When I asked them a question like, why is this price to that price? Oh, wait a minute. Oh. I mean, it seemed like it bothered them when I started asking them questions, and nobody did. Nobody asked them questions at all. And that really surprised me. They all went up to the counter and they would say, oh, you need to upgrade this, you need to do this. And every person said the same thing. Well, whatever you think it needs. I mean, they were oblivious to what was going on. I mean, this person could have said, yeah, we're going to repaint it, we're going to strip it, this, we're going to do, and these people just went, yeah, whatever you think it needs. I don't know, man. People weren't doing any checks, they weren't comparing prices, they weren't doing anything. I just lost my light. People weren't doing checks, they weren't doing anything. I don't know. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but it is what it is. I am glad I bought the tires online. I think that was a really, really great affordable way to do it. I don't think I would send it to Firestone again. I think I would have picked somebody else next time. And maybe even, I probably would even have them sent to my house, and I would pay the extra $60 for the delivery or whatever, and then take it to a guy that I'm more comfortable with, where I'm allowed in the garage, where I'm allowed to ask questions. You know, I even asked them when they had the tires off to check the brakes, and they said no problem. Because, I mean, you got the tires off. You can turn, you can check the pads, you can see how much is left on the pad. Well, I did all that, and when I went to leave, they gave me my receipt and everything. They never told me how much was on the pads. Never did. I get up, I don't know, a couple miles away, and then I say, oh, geez, I wanted to know what was on the pads. So I call them back on the phone, and I said, I'd asked you to check the pads and tell me how much was on there. Is there 20% left? Is there 30% left? What is there? The girl on the phone said immediately, oh, there was 20% left. I'm going to tell you right now, I could tell she was lying to me. I knew she was lying to me. I mean, literally, because I said, was there 20% left? Was there 30% left? She picked the number out of her hat that I said and came back to me. So I don't believe it. So when I go get the alignment done by my guy, I got to get him to check the brakes again and find out if she was even telling me the truth. So if anything, I don't know, guys. Don't believe anybody at garages from what I'm seeing, because unless you really truly know a person, I don't know what to tell you. But I didn't have a good experience with Firestone. I did not like it. It felt weird. It felt like they were taking advantage of people, and they were just really raking them across the coals. That's how it felt to me. That's my own personal view on it. That's it. I don't know what to tell you. If you go to Firestone, you love it, hey, great. But I didn't get a good feeling whatsoever from that at all. And that was actually Columbia, Tennessee office here is where that was. The Firestone that I actually went to. And, the customer service was okay, though. Their customer service, I mean, yeah, they had the pleases, the thank yous. The guy behind the counter, the one guy, even said the same thing to every customer. Boy, it's cold out there. Boy, it's cold out there. I'm like, this guy is like he had it rehearsed. Anyhow, I got these Wildpeaks on, and we'll see how they go. I'll come back to you in a month. We'll see how they wear. I do like how they feel. They really feel good. I noticed the difference between the factory install, and I noticed the difference between the Wildpeaks. There's a much smoother ride. So if you're looking for a much smoother ride when you hit those bumps in the road or those potholes where you don't really feel it on your spine, these tires are nice. They are really nice for that. It's not even, I wouldn't even say 5% difference. It's a 50% difference. You notice it. There's a big notice. So, and even when I take my foot off the gas, I notice I slow down quicker than I did with the factory tires. So the factory tires are harder, and they travel more. Probably for better gas mileage is why they have those tires. So I'm guessing my gas mileage is going to go down with these Wildpeaks. That's what I'm guessing. I'm not sure yet, because when I take my foot off the gas, like I said, it doesn't glide as much. It slows down a lot quicker. So I'm guessing there's more tire on the pavement. I think the gas mileage is going to go down, and probably maybe even go down 12 or 11. We'll have to see. But I do like the tires. I do like the feel. I didn't like who installed them. Sorry, Firestone. Didn't like it at all. None of it felt right. Everything felt like it was overpriced to me. I mean, I had to question everything. I wasn't impressed with it all. It seemed like they were used to people just saying, whatever you think is right. Anyhow, guys, thanks for watching the video. Hit the thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.